Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to the Awakened Jenn Tarot. I am so thankful to each and every one of you for joining me today. If you are new here, my name is Jennifer Halliburton. I'm a Soulful Revolution certified tarot reader, spiritual advisor, and healing and manifestation coach. And it is my honor to help others gain clarity, guidance, and insights on their path of ascension. In today's video, we will be doing a tarot reading combined with channeled messages for the collective. Please keep in mind this is a collective reading. Only take what resonates and leave what doesn't. If you would like to manifest a more specific message into the reading, please subscribe, like, and comment, as these are forms of energetic transference that can help me connect more directly to your energy and channel more specifically to your situation. Thank you again for tuning in. I hope you enjoy the reading. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Awakened Jenn Tarot. I'm Jennifer Halliburton. So I added an extra little part of my setup today. I don't usually share that part, but before every reading, I sit down and I connect with the Akashic records before every reading. And so I do feel like that helps give me just even more clarity that comes through into the readings. And so if I'm doing a personal reading for you, I connect with the Akashic records before those readings as well. So when you're getting information, it's literally connecting into your soul level. And that's why I do it. And so I don't consider myself an Akashic Records reader, but I do consider that I do Akashic Tarot because, again, like I said, I'm connecting with the Akashic Records before every single reading. And so if I'm doing a collective reading, then I connect to the Awakened Jen's collective. And so I'm inviting in any of the guides that, are going to be part of this co-creation that we're doing here. And so another part that you would hear in my intro is that any type of interaction that you have with this video helps me to really connect with your energy even more. It's that energetic transference. And so it's just a way of letting me really connect to your energy, just saying yes, that you're actually agreeing to this connection as well. So I don't know, I just kind of felt called to bring in even more of that. I feel like that the more transparency there is, it really does help bring confidence in, being able to take the guidance that's coming in, because why would you take guidance from, from sources that you don't even know where they're coming from? So I feel like that's really important. So I shared that today. I hope that you did find value about that part. All right. So the reason why we're here today is because we have the energy forecast. And so my energy forecast is typically on Saturdays, and I got all of the cards pulled out, and I was getting ready to create the slides that go with this energy forecast, because I create these cool little weather slides. And as I'm creating the slides, my whole internet just goes down. Now, it was thundering and lightning, and I kind of expected maybe the power might go out. I did not expect to lose my internet. And then I found that there were actual outages, but then once it actually came back on, my internet was still not working. So I had to contact, the provider. And at first they weren't even going to be able to get to me until Monday afternoon. And I completely panicked because I have just way too much stuff. I work from home, so I need my internet. And so I went into a panic, and they found a way to get somebody in as an emergency call, got my internet up and running again. But at that point, just my whole vibe was just completely off, because my whole day just got thrown. And I thought, okay, we already know what the energy forecast is going to be, so I'm just going to wait, and we'll do it tomorrow. It's okay. It's okay. And I feel like that is kind of part of the message for this whole week, is we're going to have to just kind of take it as it comes at us. I think that there's a lot of volatile energy this week, just looking at the astrology. And I was spending a lot of time yesterday just really looking at the astrology of Monday. And I'm going to be pulling up the chart for Monday for us as well, because I just think you need to just see this is a week that is likely going to go down in the history books. And I'm going ahead and saying that. I don't for sure know what exactly is going to happen, but globally, something is definitely coming this week that you need to be prepared for, that we as a collective need to be prepared for. And I'm not sharing this as something that is meant to induce fear. In fact, that's quite the opposite of what my intentions are. I'm bringing in awareness, and the awareness might bring in sensations in you that might feel like fear. I want you to really just sit with that energy and start reshaping the stories that you're telling yourself about this. I think there is some discomfort that is coming, and that we need to be prepared for that. But I think it's going to be in the way that we are choosing to perceive these events is going to be the way that we're going to be experiencing it. So if you are on this higher vibration timeline, it's very, very important right now to keep your vibration as high as possible. So it doesn't mean you're not going to still feel the impact of the things that are coming at us, of, the news. But this is like, we have just, especially on the spiritual view, we've been kind of talking about this coming up. But it feels so much more like palpable just as we are right here approaching the day, because every single one of us keep getting the same energy in our readings. And, you can see it through the astrology, and then other people that we're following are echoing these same messages of just, there's something very significant globally this week. But the call for the light workers is to really hold the line this week. That you've really got to be the one showing, this is how we rise above. This is how we transmute this energy that feels really negative at the, offset. Like the minute that it hits us, it feels just icky. It feels like something that we would instantly want to push away and resist, that it should not be part of our experience. But the guidance is that this is something that is meant to bring in our good, meant to bring in the greatest good. It may not feel good. It may send us all into a panic. It may have certain systems falling apart that we didn't expect to see fall apart. But the guidance here is that this is what's necessary to get us to our higher level, that this is actually a gift to us. It's actually a benefit to us if we can just stay in this positive state. So I want you to really think about times in your past where you were hit with information that you just thought was just the worst, devastating thing that could have happened to you. Like, just, why me? Why is this happening now? Just, my life is now over. Something like that, something that hit you so hard that it had you just questioning, God, why did you do this to my life? Those kinds of things. But then once you finally made it to the other side, you understood it was a blessing. You understood that even though, like, in that moment, you didn't have all of the awareness. And so you were in that lower vibration state of fear, and you let the fear tell you, this is what's happening to my life. This is where it's headed. This is where it's going. That's not what happened. When you got to the other side, you saw it was actually, no, this was a gift to me. That was a bullet dodge. This was, this was meant to get me on a better path. I was in the wrong place when I was in that other place that I thought was, like my thing. I was actually supposed to be here. This is the better. I couldn't even see it in that place because this is all I knew. So that's what we're dealing with right now. And so light workers are being really called to hold their grounding in this energy, to hold the line, to hold the vibration. So, like, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard for every one of us, because I think that we are all collectively feeling this energy, and we're all going to be like, just reacting to it in different ways. We don't want to react, we want to respond. That's why I'm giving you this information now, not to bring fear. It's to give you the information, the awareness, so that you can respond to it appropriately. I'm giving you even how to respond to it. Here's the information like that's going to be hitting you. It's hard information that's going to be hitting you. And I'm even telling you how to respond to it. We're not going to respond to it in that low vibrational state. We're going to stay in that high vibrational state of understanding, okay, there must be something here that I don't see. If I'm feeling fear about this, confusion about this, there's something here that I just don't see yet. So, I mean, I feel like, wow, this is going to be a very important message. This is a very important week. All right, so let's go ahead and just get into this week, because I mean, I feel like there was a whole message right there. All right, so pulling up. Okay, so here's the forecast. Now, I want you to know, I actually had intended to put a tornado on Saturday. I really did. I had intended like that. I felt like there was such a shift. And, you know, it is sort of like a Dorothy moment, you know, just taking you out of Kansas. We're moving from black and white to Technicolor. It is like that big of a shift that I feel is coming. But I was afraid if I put a tornado that was kind of being over dramatic about it, and it might induce the fear. The fear is the exact thing that I'm trying not to induce right now. I just want you to understand this shift is this dramatic. It is happening that quickly. And so one of the things that I noticed right off after I pulled the energy for this week was that the majority of the tarot was swords energy. So swords energy is about your mental, it's about your thoughts. And so it really just plays in well with the astrology of Monday, because, you know, we have the full moon in Aquarius that's happening on Monday, but then we also have a lot of other big astrology aspects, transits that are happening that the one that I just feel the most connected with is the Mercury Sun conjunction. It's Kazemi. And so on that, okay, Mercury is about our thoughts. It is about our mental capacity. And then anytime you add the sun to it, it's expanding that energy. And so we are definitely going to have like these ahas, these, you know, just, you know, moments of just clarity, extreme clarity. We're going to really understand, you know, what is going on. I feel like that's the thing. Like we're going to have just the biggest aha. And I did a personal reading for myself last night that I just want to go ahead and touch on, because I feel like it's part of this message too, is that whatever this information is that we are receiving this week globally, whatever this information is that we receive this week globally, is going to change the way that we even think about how we live, what is important to us, about our priorities. Like it is that life changing. And like I said, I got that even in my personal reading for the week of just this look ahead, was that there was something that even changes the way, because like you may have thought, okay, here's how I need to set up my life. There's information that's coming through this week that's going to change all of that. And I know like that's like a really big statement to say, you know, that's a huge statement to say. But I mean, that's really the energy that I feel, that I have continued to keep getting this information, like just like in different readings, just kind of like slammed at me. So that's what I'm feeling, is this big aha that we're seeing right there in the middle, but it's keeping us in our headspace very, very heavy this week, which just, again, aligns so well with the astrology for Monday. And so there's something on Thursday. So the Seven of Swords showed up on Thursday, and with the 111 as the angel number. And so the 111 was about needing to really be connected with your intuition. So there's something that is being hidden that, you know, I think that is going to be discovered, and it's going to be changing. This is where the change comes in. So I think that there's big news that happens, and then you're going to have to really use your intuition to really understand, find the truth, find the truth, because what they're putting in your face, they're kind of distracting you over here. This is what you're actually supposed to be looking at over here. So like there's truth here that's going to be right here in front of everybody, but you're going to have to use your intuition to know what is the real truth about this situation. But once that clarity comes in, whole new world. We are just, I mean, complete shift happening. So, all right, let's go ahead and look at the daily view here. Well, even before we get there, so I went ahead and pulled from my Magical Times Oracle to get an energy, an overall energy for the week. And we have anticipation. I do believe that. So, anticipation. I think the first thing that most of us feel just hearing that one word is like anxiety. And this was the thing that, like, when I was pulling the cards, the song Love Me Like You Do started playing, but it was What Are You Waiting For? Was that part. That's the part that was playing. And so, like, I feel like that we all have this collective, like, anticipation. We all feel this in some way. So some of us are feeling it in an anxious kind of way, and we're fearful about what does this change mean? And then there's others of us that are actually feeling it in an excited kind of way. And you need to understand that those energies feel exactly the same in your body. It's just the way that you're telling the story. So that's part of, like, the message again is so clear. Like, we're all going to be feeling it. We all are feeling it. We all are collectively feeling the same energy, but it's the way that we are describing it to, even to ourselves. That is how we are perceiving it. That is the way that we, and I mean, it's just as real. If you view this situation through that lens of fear, you find truth in that. If you view this situation through the lens of love, you will find truth in that. It's just like, it is about where you're putting your own viewpoint. And so we talked about this on the spiritual view, about the void. I think it was in our Lionsgate Live. So we were talking about the void, and I talked about this dream that I had a few years ago where I was clearly in the void, and I was like surrounded with all of these different realities. And I realized in that moment that my reality was based on the one that I put my focus onto. Like, I could perceive any one of the realities all around me, and they would all be just equally true for me. But it was whichever one I chose to put my focus on. And so that was just such a huge message for me then, that I just feel like it's like very, very necessary now. It is, how are you going to choose to view this situation? What perspective, what lens are you looking through? Because that is how you're going to experience it. And so this card says something wonderful is happening. Changes in the air. Open yourself to blessings on their way. So something wonderful. Can you expect something wonderful is coming? Can you change this energy that we're feeling? If you're feeling any bit of what you would normally call anxiety, can we start changing that into, this is something exciting? It's an adventure. It's something different. There's something, we're going to have to learn new ways of living. I guarantee it. But can we get excited about this? Because it means these old structures that are harming people, as you know, as they currently stand, are going to start going away. Some of the collective cries are going to be now they're going to have the resolutions. They have been heard. I'm losing that word, but you've been heard. The resolutions are coming. Okay, let's go ahead and move forward with Sunday, which is today, 8/18. And I kind of just love the 8/18 in itself is so 8/18 for the angel number for me would represent, there's some balance in this, and it's balanced. We are aligned to our abundance. So I do feel like that this is aligning us. Every bit of this is still aligning us right to our abundance. But the angel number that I pulled for Sunday was 2121. And we have energy levels. Okay, so we have prosperity, harmony, journey, waiting, discipline, exaggeration, the opposite sex. The day you're waiting for will come. Maintain discipline. You're getting closer to your end goal. There's no need to overextend yourself. Guard your energy to remain focused. It will pay off. It's a climb, not an elevator ride. Trust in you. So I feel like that, especially combining it with the tarot energy of the Two of Swords, and I'm using the Alice in Wonderland tarot deck. So combining it with this tarot energy of the Two of Swords, I mean, you can see very clearly there's like this hold up, wait. There's a big pause moment here. And it's just saying that your day is coming. Don't, like, this isn't saying that this pause means the good isn't coming. It's just there's something here that we need to pause here so that we can realign, so that we can get the full truth, so that we can fully know which direction we need to go. There's some missing information right now that once we get this information, everything is going to start making sense as to how come we weren't able to put this plan together before, because we didn't know this piece. This piece wasn't ready to be revealed yet. It's now going to be out there for everyone to know. Okay. This is feeling huge, and it's like what's hard for me is to get messages like that and to not know what that actually is when it's still waiting to be revealed. Like, just, okay, I know for sure it is something, yeah, okay, but then it's like, because my mind will start running wild with that of like, well, could it be this, could it be this, could it be this? It's not meant for us to know yet. And so the more time that you're spending trying to figure that out, you're just building your anxiety. You're building things to be fearful of. You're not in the moment for sure. So we're just going to be ready to respond. And the way that we're going to be ready to respond is that we know something's coming. We know something big is coming. We know, like, okay, just prepare yourself energetically. Don't, like, there's going to be a shock wave that's going to hit. Okay, so we've got to be ready to absorb the shock wave and to know when it hits, it's not taking us out, it's just taking us to new levels. Okay, but we don't get all of that information just yet. It's not time yet. But I mean, it's about to. It's about to. Okay, so then we have Monday, which I didn't change the date on that. It's 8/19 is on that day. And I have the angel number is 0110. And, you know, there's just something very spiritual about this. With the zeros, that's about divine beginnings. And then 11s typically represent spiritual awakening. And it's just like, to me, there's always a comfort that comes when I see 11s, when I see 1111, it's just like you're on the path and you can almost see a path. You're just in that numbers too. It's just like you're being guided directly onto the path. Just as you're seeing these 11s show up, just keep following the 11s and it's like taking you right down the path. So we have belief system. Go after what you want, unique, destiny, inspiration, talents, gifts, appreciation, and gratitude. You're blessed with talents and skills that make it easy for you to stand out from the crowd. Embrace what makes you different. That's your path to success. Your dreams will soon come true. So embrace what makes you different. I really feel like that the shift that moves us into new earth and like the way that we even are going to be working, the way that, you know, our careers will work in new earth is based off of, you know, what are those just natural abilities that we have, the things that are natural affinities. Those are the things that we're going to be most valued for. Is this is really what, I mean, it's just so clear to everyone around you. This is what you were here to do. And so, like, I remember having a conversation with an older woman who felt like she didn't really have purpose. And, you know, I realized, like, when she cooks, like the way that she cooks for her family, for anyone, like the love that she pours into her cooking, she had purpose in that. And she didn't even realize, like, that this was such a huge gift and talent that not everybody has. Like, I explained to her, I can follow a recipe so I can make good meals. I can follow a recipe. I know how that works. I'm really analytical. I can do that. But I don't have the love for cooking that she has. And so my food, I can follow her recipes exactly the way that she says it, and I still can't make it taste the way that she makes it taste, because she literally pours herself into her cooking. You can feel her soul kind of come out in her cooking. That is a clear purpose that she has, and she completely undervalued it because it came so natural to her. So I feel like in New Earth, that's the things that are just so natural that you feel like, but everybody can do that. Like one of the things I learned about myself was that I have very high emotional intelligence. And so I had a counselor explaining this to me, that it was like my level of emotional intelligence is like that of this genius mathematician. And so, like, the mathematician will go up and put this elaborate math equation on the board, and then they'll look at the room and say, what's the answer? And for them, it's just so intuitive of like, here's how you get the answer. Here's the answer. It's just so obvious. Here's how you get this. But for the whole room, they're like, I have no idea. That's like complete Greek to me. I have no idea what language you're even speaking here. And it's just like the disconnect is so wide. Like the mathematician doesn't even realize how high up their level of knowledge is in this one particular area over all the rest of the people in the room. And so, like, that's how she explained it to me about my emotional intelligence, was like way up here. And so I was really expecting that everybody just knew how to show up, emotionally, just because it was literally that natural to me. But, now then I see how I can use that one talent that is clearly like, okay, that's something that sets me apart. I can help show others. I can help teach others. Okay, here's what emotional intelligence looks like. Here's what this looks like. And I do it in a very natural way, because it's just like, okay, well, this felt natural to me, and here's how come this felt natural to me. And so I start helping them see, here's all the cues I saw. Here's why I thought this. And here's where, like, you have something like that too. Everybody has something like that too. And so I feel like that's being like really brought out in this next level that we're going to, is whatever those natural things are. That's what we're all going to be really benefiting from, is you not hiding that, you really embracing whatever that piece is that you have to give. And so we have, the Knight of Spears is the Knight of Swords, and that's just getting very clear about the direction that you're headed, about what you need to do. And so I wanted to go ahead before we get off of this day and pull up the astrology chart for this day, because it is wild. All right, so let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay. So this right here is the astrology chart for Monday. And it may not look like much right here, but we've got a couple of things that I've really got my eye on, and I mean that everybody's got their eye on that's watching the astrology. And it is starting with the Mercury and Sun conjunction that is over here in Leo. So it's going to be 27 degrees of Leo. And then, of course, we have the full moon on that day that's going to be at that 27 degrees. So right there, you've just got a lot of energy in just that one transit. And then we also have that same day, 27 degrees of Taurus, we have Uranus squaring. Uranus is squaring that Sun-Mercury conjunction, and that's also squaring the moon when it's hitting the full moon. So, I mean, like, that's called a T-square at that point. So Uranus is about unexpected things. So you've already got just like this big energy happening right there with the full moon connecting with Mercury and Uranus. I mean, so Mercury and the Sun is really bringing in these aha moments. Mercury is about your thinking. It's about just your mental capacity, and it's being expanded by the energy of the sun. But see, there's something here coming in that's unexpected with the energy of Uranus coming in with that square. And then, we've also got, because of the full moon, the square there is going to be something, it's an internal, it's going to affect us the way that we think and feel. It's a very internal. Do you see the thoughts here with the Mercury are being activated? And then you also have the internal is being activated with the moon. All of that, huge. But then we still have another, transit that's happening that people are watching too. So if you look at Venus over here in Virgo, so Venus is at 17 degrees Virgo, and we've got it trining with Jupiter at 17 degrees in Gemini, and Saturn at 17 degrees in Pisces. And so, do you see how many planets are being activated? Even if you don't understand, what the astrology is, even if you don't understand astrology, you can see how much activation is being had on just this one day. Typically, we're just focusing on one thing. So typically, I would just be talking about the full moon. And the full moon itself is significant because this is a super full moon. And the super full moon means that the moon is as close to the earth as it gets in its orbit. And that's what makes it the super full moon. And so the closer it is, the more impact it is. So it is shining really brightly right now on all of these hidden spaces. And it's really causing us collectively to really look inside internally and see, what we really feel about things. And so, again, even if you don't understand, astrology, you can see how this day marked is pretty significant for many, many of the astrologers that have been watching this. And I want you to see one more thing. So when I'm talking about transits, we're looking at things, we want things that are as close to 0 degrees of the transit as possible. Look at this line right here. Look at how many zeros on this one day showed up in the transits. So, you can see this is significant. So the further out you go, the less impact that you're going to have. Anything between 0 to 3 is significant to me. And so you see, we've got a lot of, tight transits here. And when we see things like the 5s and 6, that's a little bit further out. And so it's not as big of an impact. But anything at 0 degrees, that is absolutely. And that one day is just loaded up. So, I just wanted you to see, just really, I wanted your eyes on what the rest of us are really looking at as how we're getting to this place about the astrology for this day. It's not just one thing happening. We have so much that is impacting all over the place. And so you can see how spread out this is, that this literally is impacting everyone. I went through this week and I was looking at the birth charts of pretty much anybody that I've had, given that information to me. And every single one of them had significant, impact on this one day, just because of the way that the astrology is placed out. And so I just want everyone prepared, the information is literally just that. It's just information. It's not meant to scare you. It is just meant to help you understand what's going on so that you can make better decisions with what's happening. All right, let's see, I lost there we go. Okay, so that's, again, it's a heavy day, and I don't want to sugarcoat that. I want everybody prepared that this whole week, you just need to be just prepared that big energy is hitting. So, okay. So we're going to go ahead and move forward now with Tuesday. So Tuesday, I brought in our big sun. So we have the angel number was 0330. So, this almost feels like I've hit the lottery kind of thing. The 33 to me connects me with the ascended masters. Again, the zeros are about divine beginnings, divine timing, something that is destined. And this says lucky shirt, love, peace, hope, and optimism, transferring responsibility to others, progress, creativity. Pursue your goals and get what you want. It will provide wonderful benefits for you and the people you hold dear. The ability to communicate is improving at this time, which will make it easier for you to interact with a broad spectrum of individuals. And so I just feel like that there's something about this news. And I mean, by this point, I feel like we do know what this is. So I feel like for sure by this day, we do know whatever this big thing is. And this tells me that it actually feels good. I think that we're going to see the light. We're going to see the light. It's going to feel very expansive. It's again changing completely the way that we're thinking about the future, about the way that we live in the future, about what matters to us in the future. That's all the things. And so we've got the sun was the tarot energy for that day. And so I'm going to actually read this one. The sun. Okay. Like a cheery glow of the sun, you're beaming with a sunny, happy glow. Be present and bask in the warmth of this joyful time. During tarot readings that search for answers about potential outcomes, drawing the sun is a very strong sign of a successful, positive outcome. Gather friends, put on a pot of tea, and spread the cheer. All right, so my connection right here is you're going to have to just remember whatever information, this is a good thing. We're celebrating no matter whatever information comes out. We are celebrating because we know this is the sign. This is the sign of the shift that we've been waiting for, that we've known was going to happen. This is the sign. So we're going to celebrate no matter this is good for us. We're going to keep that high vibration. We're celebrating this news, whatever this is. It's going to be a good thing for us. Okay. Wednesday, we have the angel number is 1818, and it says willpower. Achievement, success, striving forward, prosperity, go-getters, courage, luck. Wow, significant events are in the cards for you. You will progress in your endeavors and gain new experiences. The right people and resources will be put on your path. An excellent proposal or change is coming up. You're destined for greatness. I feel like that this news is actually going to feel really, really good now that I'm like just where I'm at right here. That it's actually like some sort of debt forgiveness. Like that's the word that's coming out for me. Something feels really good about this, but then there's also some level of suspicion because, again, I'm telling you, what you see here is a distraction from something over here. So, like, there's something here. And I think that's what's leading us into the next day, but I'm not getting into the next day yet. But just understand, I feel like right here, this is telling me right here, this is going to sound really good when it shows up. Like, it's going to cause that level of like, could it really be that easy? So the tarot energy of that day is the Four of Swords. So the Four of Swords is about bringing in healing. It's about bringing in healing. It's rest, healing. There's some sort of restoration coming. Okay. So I'm just feeling just that heaviness of knowing where we're headed, which where we're headed is with the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords is about a secret. It's about deception. So the angel number for Thursday is 111, which is about your intuition. Moderation, patience, flow, clarity, joy, movement, self-realization, taking action, unconditional love. Time to implement long-cherished ideas. You're on the right track towards making your dreams and visions a reality. The right people, circumstances, and resources are being sent your way. Happiness and new opportunities are at hand. Trust in the process. But I mean, the intuition is the part that I'm pulling on the most here, just because the tarot energy is the Seven of Swords. So the Seven of Swords is about some sort of deception, something that you don't quite know. I'm pulling some more cards for this. And I do want to say that the energy for the bottom of the deck for the whole week was the Magician. So the power is in our hands. So just remember that the power is in your hands. The power is in the way that you choose to view this experience and the way that you're telling yourself the stories about this. So just remember the power is in your hands this week, no matter what this looks like. So what is this secret that, what is this secret? We have, let's see, the Six of Pentacles. So there is some sort of balance, energetic balance. The Empress and the Page of Pentacles. There's a new beginning. There's just a new way, like, let me pull these. So we have the Six of Pentacles is about that balanced energy. The Empress, I feel like it's just a new way of leadership. This feels like a new way of leadership. It's not the over-controlling type of leadership. Even though this woman was kind of not, she was a villain, you know? Okay, no, I am kind of getting something, and it feels more political than what I want it to go. So using our intuition about what's being offered to us and where the offer is coming from. But with the Page of Pentacles, there is an opportunity to bring in a new beginning. But we're just going to really, really need to use our intuition. We're going to really need to use our intuition. Okay. Okay. So that moves us to Friday. So Friday, I felt just a lot of heaviness. So as we're contemplating whatever this secret that we're feeling, that like that just there's something like, okay, we see all this, but we feel there is something else that, like, okay, yes, this is what you said you were going to do, but we feel like that there's something else. There's something missing. There's missing information. And so I think that's the heaviness that I felt as we're kind of like, oh, okay, like as we're processing through this. And so the angel number for that day is 0606, and it's about commitment, loyalty, responsibility, truth, love, light, spiritual realm, growth, solutions. Applying honesty and light daily is a fast track to creating a peaceful and meaningful life. It's how you find solutions and comfort. Release worries by speaking your truth and expressing emotions regularly. Open up, for the best is yet to come. So I feel like this is continuing to manage our thoughts, manage our emotions, manage our responses. I think it's just continuing to, process things through that filter of love and not through that filter of fear. And the tarot energy is the world. So I feel like that we do have, a lot of great opportunity and potential if we move through this thing wisely, if we use this information wisely, if we stay in that higher vibration. I feel like that even if the original intention is impure, the more that we can stay in this higher vibration, the more that we can bring in this higher reality that we are intending. But we do have a lot of opportunity with the world. And so we got to be, okay, while we've got to be connected to our intuition, we also have to be open to the possibilities, because we are shifting. This is a huge shift. One thing is ending with the world. one way of living is ending and a whole new way is coming in. And so we have to, I think in one sense, we have to make the most out of where this place is right here, because the shift is coming, whether we want that or not. The shift is coming. And so it's going to be in the way that we're experiencing it is going to be like through the lens that we're viewing it. So if you're viewing it through that lens of fear, you're going to experience it in a much more fearful way, because that's how you're manifesting, is your thoughts are creating your reality. So you're seeing it. And it also comes back to that reticular activation system. So when you are looking for things to be afraid of, you find a lot more things to be afraid of. You've just activated your brain to continue to look for things to be afraid of. So we are just trying to reactivate our brains to this vibration of love, so that we are programming it now, instead to look for things to be afraid of, to look for the positives, to look for things to be excited about, to look for the ways that this is going correctly, that this is bringing us to better places. Okay. So for Saturday. So Saturday, I mean, we're just rushed off to this whole new land. So with Saturday, the tarot energy, well, no, the angel number was what kind of made me nervous about that day, because the 1717 says drama alert. Independence, soul mission, alone time, learning, healing, aspirations. Take a few deep breaths and focus inward. You need time to think things over and consider your options. At this time, you must rely solely on yourself. You might not believe it, but you're headed in the right direction. What appears to be a lull in activity is just a natural part of the process. So the drama alert is the thing that kind of concerned me, but I just think that things do move very quickly this week, that this shift is going to come in very, very quickly. And I don't think that you're going to have even the opportunity for resistance of it. I just think it's going to happen. And we just have to get to this level of acceptance very quickly. And okay, here's what we're going to do with this. And so the tarot energy was the 10 of Wands. And so the 10 of Wands is about, it's releasing the burdens. It's knowing what is your responsibility and what is not your responsibility. And let me tell you, the serenity prayer has been coming up for me so much in these past 2 weeks. And it was, Lord, grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So I feel like that there's going to be a lot of that right now, is accept the things we cannot change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. That has been so loud for me for the past 2 weeks. So I feel like that really is a message of preparation that we all need right now. Is there are going to be some things that are happening that we cannot change. It's just, and you got to understand that this is just like the collective karma. We did this collectively. Even if not you personally did this, we collectively got ourselves to where we are now. But now then we realize how much this does not work for anybody anymore. We need the system to change. So collectively, we've been calling out, setting intentions for this change to come in. The change is coming, but the way that it comes feels very destructive, feels very volatile. And it can be very, like fearful for the majority of people who don't have their grounding and their consciousness in that level of awareness of even what's happening on that higher level of what's happening. Because, I mean, if you remember where you were at when you were still in that lower 3D state, life was happening to you. Life was just happening to you. You didn't have any control over anything that was happening. It was just happening to you. So that is where the majority of people are going to be experiencing this. And that's why the light workers are really being called right now to hold their ground, to really show the way of this is what's happening. This is what's going on. This is why we are not afraid, because we have been given this information ahead of time to prepare us. So we are prepared. We are prepared. This is reminding me of one of the messages that I did this week. So if you didn't know, I actually started a blog this week. So I'm doing daily blog posts, and they're just daily readings for light workers. It's called the Light Workers Daily Beacon. I will link that in the description box, just so that you can sign up if that's something that you're interested in. And this was definitely one of the messages that came out. I was just like, whoa, that is not a daily message. That was huge. And I feel like that, the message for this week is huge. And I think with good reason. I do think that it's going to be a very life-changing week for all of us. I think that there's going to be something globally that we're going to be all experiencing, but then it's also coming down even personally that we're all experiencing. This energy is that big. And so if you would like some guidance for that, I am available for private sessions. That information is down in the description box below. So I can look at your astrology chart and help you to kind of see, okay, here's how this is impacting you. This is where this is impacting you. And like, we can talk through, we can pull cards and get some guidance for just what you need to do with this energy. So, I mean, I am here for you in whatever capacity that I need to be. I am going to continue to share the messages as they're coming out. And I'm trying to give you the balance of, here's the reality. This is what we're facing. But this is also like the higher level perspective, so that you know what to do with it, so that we are prepared and we're not living in that vibration of fear that's just going to make this whole situation worse for everyone, because it perpetuates more fear. It doesn't just make it worse for you. And like, okay, I want to say, because I know this is getting kind of long, but I feel like this message is that important. So that's probably why I had issues with it yesterday. So I heard my mentor explain, like, she was using the Monsters Inc. as a metaphor to explain how, like, the powers that be use fear to control the masses. And so, like, if you've watched Monsters Inc., that's exactly what they're doing. They power their whole world. The monster world powers its whole world through the fear of the innocent, the children. That's how they get, the energy that powers their whole world. So in their perspective, in the monster's perspective, when you're looking at it just through that lens, this is the correct thing to do, because if we don't get energy, then we all die out, right? So even in the darkness, they have purpose. But what they learned through that was that the children's laughter actually gave even more power than the fear. And so that's what we're being called to right now, is to realize that, okay, while fear had a whole lot of power, and it did a whole lot, because look at what we've created with our fears. Look at what the world we have created with our fears. Think about the world that we can create through love, through that energy of that joyful laughter, that, just the joy of that child. Just think about that. And I feel like that's part of why a lot of the messages that I've had just in the past couple of months have been bringing back that childlike joy, because that's the energy that we really need to be in. That's the energy that is needed to really bring the shift, because the power of one person who's vibrating at the energy of love just has like this massive ability to wipe out, just all this darkness around it. And I have the stats written down somewhere. I don't have it with me right now, but I mean, it's like millions. So it's that important that we as light workers really do understand, what our purpose is here, what our role in this is here. It's not about toxic positivity. It's not about like ignorance to, the reality of what's happening. It's understanding, this is why this happened. This is how we got here. And here's what has to happen to get us out of this. This has to fall away in order to make space for the new stuff to come in. But like when you're seeing it through that and like you can make it make sense, it lessens the fear, the impact of the fear because we're understanding it. All right, so I'm going to just close this out now with the Art of Manifestation Oracle. So what can we do? Let me see, change the view here. So what can we do to help bring our manifestations in this week? Empower yourself. I love that. Okay. Empowerment does not mean that we have power over others. It means we have power over ourselves. We honor our capacity for free will and conscious choice while honoring the same in others. This card asks you to evaluate your present situation and to take an ownership of your right to choose, with a recognition of the entitlement of the others to do the same. And so that's another important thing. We don't get to talk other people out of their fear either. So, you get to be wherever you're at. You get to experience this however you want to experience this, but, your experience is your experience. So when people are telling you how miserable it is, it really is miserable for them because that's their viewpoint. And so you can have compassion and empathy for that while also knowing that's not your perspective. That's not the life that you're living. And that's probably going to form a level of guilt, but there's no reason for guilt. They have the free will to choose at any time. And so they're getting to see the other side of things just by looking at the way you're living your life. And that's all you need to do. You need to live your life, speak your truth, and be in that energy. And they get to choose what they do with that or not. So, all right. Whew. It's going to be a big week, y'all. I want to hear in the comments just how this impacts you, what you're feeling, if you've done your own readings, what you're getting about this energy too, because I mean, everybody's been talking about it. So just whatever you feel like your predictions are for this week, and it's going to be big. All right. So again, if you are interested in my blog, that information is down in the description box. If you're interested in private reading, that's down in my description box. Other than that, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. Thank you for spending your time with me. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, share. That helps to tell the algorithm to keep pushing this out to more people, helps to grow my channel, and I greatly appreciate it. All right. I'll see you later, guys. Bye.